Hello, I go by the name Half and Half, and I'm planning on being a big contributor to the VR game community. Although what you see on screen isn't necessarily a VR game, if I had VR equipment right now, I probably wouldn't be making VR games, I'd be playing VR. So for right now, I'm just doing PC FPS games. I used to play, a lot of games. Well, not a lot in number, but I used to play games all the time. I really enjoyed playing games. But VR just really sparked that interest again. And in addition to playing games, I found it very interesting that we can make games, just anyone. My first introduction to that really was a program called Scratch. It was just basically as fun as other games at the time for me. At one point, I even made a 3D object rendering in Scratch, and I really enjoyed it. At other times, I've actually tried to make games in Unity, although none of them have been quite as good as this. This is the farthest I've gotten. All the other ones, I've just been following tutorials, but I didn't follow a tutorial to make this sort of level here, and I made pretty much the majority of the enemy AI. I made the wander function, I made the follow function, I made the attack function, although the attack function was definitely more helped by tutorials. I still use tutorials, but just not as much. And this week when I've been working on it, I don't think I used a single tutorial, but I've made a load of progress. And speaking of the tutorials for coding, one of my favorite tutorial content creators for Unity coding is Brackeys. Probably the majority of the tutorials for making games that I've seen are from Brackeys. And although he doesn't make videos anymore, as far as I'm aware, his videos do still exist. They're on YouTube if you want to look at them. I'm not sponsored, just he's really cool. And for this game, I want to make sort of a gladiator level. I want it to have multiple waves, which right now I do have one, but it's not quite where I want it to be yet. I want to have more interesting enemies. I want to have better, more snappy player movement. I want to actually make some 3D models for the enemies, because right now, as you've seen, everything is just basic shapes, cylinders and squares and spheres. But I have Blender. I think I've modeled some 3D models in the past, but I tried to do that again recently, and I just don't remember how to use Blender anymore. And I got tired of it just very quickly. But I'm going to try doing that again, making things look a little bit more interesting. And I also want to make more interesting sound design, because if you've been listening to the game, you'll probably notice that the sounds aren't quite that fun. Although maybe you like the background music, although it's also not that great because I made it. I have a tendency to try to make everything when I make something, which probably isn't the best habit, but it's what I do. I've even tried to make a game engine. I'd go into Visual Studio and I didn't get anywhere, but I tried. I would look up how game engines work. I'd go through tutorials on using Visual Studio, coding in C#, and creating a game engine from scratch is a little bit too big of a job for one person, I believe. So the enemies in this game, I made basically the entire script, so I've been getting somewhere in my ability to code, although it was really messy when I first made it. Just one script, basically. A couple other scripts on other objects so that it was easier to do everything I was trying to do, but for the most part, it's one script, and that was just a whole mess. So I've recently started cleaning up my code, making just a whole bunch of different scripts so that I can make different enemies much easier. I don't just have to, maybe copy the whole script and then change things, just trying to navigate the mess that it was. But now there's a whole bunch of different scripts. So if I want to just take the wander function over, all I have to do is grab the wander function and put it on the new enemy. I started out with like a sample scene in this game that I'm currently making, just something to test everything out. I think that's probably pretty standard, although I am fairly new to getting this far in game development. And then I made sort of a test level 1. I don't plan on having it as my actual level 1 anymore. I want the gladiator level to be my level 1. But I made that, and it was just it made it feel like I've actually made a game, because it seemed like a game, even though it was just cylinders and cubes and really poor lighting. But that definitely motivated me to continue going. Hopefully, when I actually start making VR games, they'll look way better than what they currently look like, or than what this game currently looks like. And maybe I'll even figure out how to start using better AIs in enemy AI, like Rain World AI. I don't know if you've heard of the game Rain World, but like the AI for all the creatures just make them feel alive. Like there are lizards that are the same lizard, but they have different personalities, and they do so much more than any other enemy I've really seen in a video game. Granted, I haven't actually played that many video games recently, but I really want to use AI in the future like that, because my goal is to not have to work regular jobs, because I worked at fast food. It wasn't terrible, it was pretty good, but I've realized that $14 an hour isn't a lot. Like, if you look at anything online about how much money someone needs to survive, it's like, I don't know, maybe $60,000 a year, I think would be a pretty comfortable living, what would it be, wage. But to do that, I think you have to earn like 20 something dollars an hour and be working full time. So I really want to find some way to earn more money than that. And also with like fast food, it's just really fast paced. It feels like you're putting in a lot of work inside each hour that you are working to earn money for, and it's not even a lot of money. But if I enjoy game development, which so far I really do, then hopefully I'll be able to earn like a lot more money, and it'll be a lot more enjoyable for me. Yeah. So in addition to just wanting more fun VR games, I want to earn money in a more fun way. Yeah, so if you made it this far in the video, thank you, I guess. Like, might be impressive that you managed to watch this far. Like, I don't think this video is going to be very good when I finish editing it, but hopefully I've piqued your interest if you've made it this far, and if I did, maybe you could consider subscribing. I plan on starting to post videos about coding about like every week on Wednesday. I'm probably going to miss a week or two, or maybe several weeks, but I will be posting videos probably on Wednesday, and hopefully weekly. And if you did like this video as well, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button, maybe get my videos more out there, and maybe share this with a friend or two, and then maybe they'll be interested too. And yeah, so thanks for watching. And also, I'm probably going to be posting this on like an old channel with just some random hand-drawn animations, because I used to animate. So if you're interested in seeing some hand-drawn animations that aren't great, there should be a few of those on the channel. Yeah. So, have a good day, I guess.